queued up here. Let me just put the Expedia. February, what is it? The 12th is the game.
What are you looking at?
It's just Super Bowl, getting out to the Super Bowl. Do you think we should be out there the whole week before the game?
Absolutely. Got to play a little golf while we're out there.
Oh, yeah. We got to look at that. I was thinking like maybe we could even do Radio Row. I mean, because we're a Philly-based podcast with the Eagles being there, we should probably be, we'd probably get a spot. You guys think? What do you guys think?
There's always those like goofy people out there at the Media Row.
Yeah, I say we book it. I say we book it. All right, we can do this later. We can get into this later. For now, welcome in, folks, to the City Pigeons Podcast. I don't even know what episode number this is. I think it's 18 or something, but thank you guys for joining in, checking us out, either viewing, listening, whatever. Anything works for us. How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing great.
Good.
Meech, I noticed you were getting your intellectual on over there with a little bit of the reading.
Just reading up on my colloquialisms.
Colloquialisms?
Yes.
Anyway, the point is, we've got a wonderful selection of books here at Radio Kismet to choose from, and Meech always bones up on a topic.
I read like 3 a week just to keep my mind sharp.
Keep fresh. I love it. I love it. But it's been an exciting week, I think, guys, because last time we saw the good people was when we were down for the Birds of a Feather tailgate down there in M-Lot for the
good time.
That went well, didn't it?
I'd say it was a success.
That was a success on all fronts. And
well, we didn't have the bathroom. That kind of sucked.
Yeah,
but other than the bathroom, it was a pretty good time.
Yeah, no bathroom, but you know, the tailgate, you got to kind of make your own. You got to handle that.
I saw right next to us there was some person had like one of those pop-up tents, single man with the bucket in it.
Get the bucket going.
That's a new fad.
Yeah, I mean,
when you get down there.
We should
have pulled one of those.
A few of those.
Yeah, could have had the private bathrooms.
But hey,
sponsor.
That was awesome. Thank you so much to Federal Donuts, Kenwood, Mark Goodhart, the Goodhart Firm, Fink's Hoagies, hooking it up, Fink. Thank you.
Die Hard Philly with a few.
Yeah, Die Hard Philly came through, and we got some awesome shirts from those guys. Shout out to those guys. I don't know if you saw Nick Sirianni was wearing a Die Hard shirt.
We got one right here.
Fink, look at that. I think this shirt is perfect for Fink. It's, a famous interaction between an Eagles and a Vikings fan from the internet.
And that's mine.
Great. Die Hard guys, thank you for hooking that up. Anybody that I'm missing that was involved with that? Did the Jerky guys come through?
No, they got stuck in traffic. They wanted to.
All right, Jerky guys.
To come out there.
We'll get you on the next one, which leads me to.
They actually had they made a promo code to get 15% off of the jerky for it, but it was like Pigeon 15 or something.
Darn it.
Forget it.
All right.
I'll get it off them.
Not everything is going to be perfect the first time around, right?
They felt bad.
It's all right. Let me just say, I think that went pretty well.
Oh, yeah.
Rock did pick against the Eagles.
I didn't pick against the Eagles. I was just a little shook.
You were afraid.
Yeah, I was a little shook.
Which is fine. Wide receiver. Come on.
I know.
Man.
Yeah, who did nothing. And since that time.
I felt shamed.
Since that time, let me back up a minute because I just wanted to, on the heels of that historic event, I wanted to announce, drumroll please, that the Birds of a Feather tailgate is now a tailgate series, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Ooh, series.
The next iteration of the Birds of a Feather tailgate will be October 16th. Dallas Cowboys home, Sunday night football.
Ooh. Anybody got tickets for me?
Let's go. Let's go. We're going to do it even bigger, even better. My man Tom from Federal Donuts he's determined to be cooking chicken right in that parking lot. The Kenwood guys are back in, so for everybody that came out, we hope to see you again. Bring a friend. We're trying to make this thing bigger and better each time.
We won't promise a bathroom this time.
We won't promise a bathroom. Maybe we can find one.
Yeah.
Let's get one of those pop-up.
The third edition, I will also announce, is going to be, I believe it's November 27th. It's going to be the Packers Sunday night game. So we got all these Sunday night games.
We got another one after
We got another one.
Holy
We're just going to, we like to party, and the games are big games, and the Eagles are great. Trifecta. And then.
Might be a little cold by that one.
The fourth is conditionally going to be the division playoff home game. And then the fifth is going to be the NFC Championship home game. The 6th is going to be in Phoenix for the Super Bowl. That's the tentative schedule for everybody. We're
going to have a City Pigeons Birds of a Feather tailgate out in Phoenix?
Yes, absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely. So
the Eagles are 1-0 since after our tailgates.
2-0.
2-0.
Well, yeah. Okay.
They played.
You're right. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, my bad. So the only question I have here, because we're all riding high. Damn. Hurts is looking great. They're talking about contract extensions, all this stuff.
Hurts is the MVP so far.
And we love it.
Yeah.
him,
no
Lamar
question.
Jackson, Tua.
Oh, Lamar Jackson, right. The only question I have.
3-0. Tua's looking good, too. And then I think that would be like the perfect Super Bowl. The two guys who were both at Alabama.
Oh, yeah, that would be a good one. A little payback for Jalen, taking my job.
Yeah, but
Didn't think of that.
Jalen had to come back and bail him out.
True.
After he was benched, then he went to Oklahoma the next year. But I just think that would be a perfect storyline for the network to run into the ground for 2 weeks.
Did that Tua hit? Did that investigation come to
Yeah,
anything
they said
yet?
he's not in concussion protocol.
How was he not in concussion protocol?
Look, I have to disagree. The perfect Super Bowl is obviously Eagles-Bills, just for the, to have those two fan bases in a town for an extended period of time. Who knows what could happen?
I agree.
Eagles-Bills.
Bedlam, I think.
Absolute bedlam. People will be using makeshift wings to fly off the top of RVs and buses. I mean, you don't know what's going to happen out there.
Yeah.
Still can't believe you
I don't
guys
know about the
poo-pooed my idea
makeshift
like
wings,
that.
but
My only hesitation, because this is where my natural fan pessimism, my Philly fan pessimism comes in. It's like, are we? And by the way, I don't even know if it's us getting too carried away, because now all the national media, we're like heading to the top of the power rankings and stuff. Are we getting too carried away?
I hate peaking in week 3. But
Yeah.
I have a feeling that there's something special about this team. I just like the way they carry themselves, and I love that people are complaining that they don't score in the second half. I mean, it's great. We're going to find something to get annoyed about each week, even if they win. So we'll be good.
I watched it back actually when I was looking for something that we'll talk about later in the game, and I was surprised that we went like way deep in the first quarter and nothing happened. It didn't look like we kicked their ass. Second quarter was just a spurt there. Onslaught. Devontae Smith, who that's a perfect segue into our kind of football betting success or lack thereof analysis of the week. And I got to say, we had a big win for Meech in advance of last week's episode. And then, by the way, for those of you who are not paying attention to the City Pigeons Podcast, you need to pay attention, because sometimes Meech is giving out gems. Like last week, we had Devontae Smith 3.5?
Yeah, which he got by halftime. But, I gave it out on the podcast, and then by the time it aired, the game was over. So it's not too helpful.
Now,
for
you got a
the
point.
listeners.
You got a point.
But the people in the
and
parking
that's
lot,
on us.
People who were in the parking lot
for the podcast, they'll
heard it.
If you were in the parking lot, I should have done it, because I was like,
I know Mark Goodhart took it.
Yeah, so he hit me up before this week's game and said, Devontae? And I'm like, yeah, dude. And then he's like, I should have put the house on it. Anyway, he gave it out, 3.5. I saw you bet, you rolled 500 of that single game into it, right? Easy 1,000. Boom. Guy was cooking with gas. Now, we had another win for the squad this week, and it came from the guy maybe you're
The proprietor of the Fink tank.
The Fink tank. Let's head over to the Fink tank
what, we got
and hear
another
about
big
this
guy?
week's big win for the Pigeons gambling team. There it is.
Baby.
Okay.
pretty.
Wow. So you heavy investment in the running backs. I mean, that's just an all or nothing bet right there, right? Because both these guys.
That means Daniel Jones and Cooper Rush are so shaky that they got to rely on the guys who can actually do something with
And
the football.
that was my exact thought process.
You know what? Things no one cares about. I needed Ezekiel Elliott. I needed Ezekiel Elliott to score 15 points last night, and he scored 14 point something, and I lost by 0.5 points in my fantasy. This is fucking terrible. And this is why I hate. And this actually is a good. This is something I want to talk to you guys about, because I was thinking, like, when I was doing my drafts, do you not pick Cowboys, or are you like, I'm picking whoever the best guy is? I don't care if they're on the team that I hate.
Yeah, I don't necessarily not pick them.
Because I actually don't like to pick them.
I don't like to pick Eagles. How's that?
I get that.
I don't like
get that.
to be disappointed in them and make them lose for my team.
Right.
Talking about fantasy, right?
Yeah.
I don't care. Yeah,
I'm just saying.
My money's involved. I don't care.
Right.
who I
But see,
pick.
this
You gotta
was
get best
the exact
players.
situation I wanted to avoid. He was the last guy I needed, so I had to root for him. And I don't want to root for him. And, so part of me feels like I shouldn't have taken him, and he's been pretty crappy the whole season anyway. So
you just don't root, and whatever happens, happens.
Exactly.
Right.
Who cares?
I'm pretty at ease with that at this point, to be honest with you. So I was going to ask you guys, because, I put in a single game parlay myself. And now, Meech, when you won yours, you put it in on a game that wasn't like the Birds game, right? Like you didn't even watch it, right? Like you heard about it or whatever, right? You weren't watching that
No,
game.
I wasn't watching it when it happened.
See, for me, like when I
I
put
think watching it makes it more painful, harder to follow.
Right.
because then you can't enjoy the game you're watching. If they don't throw to the guy that you want them to throw to, you get angry.
Right.
Or if they throw it to him and he drops it.
Yeah,
you're
it's
like,
just it's not enjoyable.
See, and
so
that's
it's better
funny.
to check the stats.
You get so
a few times a
hyper-focused.
quarter,
Right.
maybe at halftime, just to see where you stand, and then when it gets to crunch time, then you start to fight.
Right, see,
if you need 10 yards out of somebody, then you can start to get hyper focused. But in the beginning of the game, it just ruins the enjoyment of watching a football game.
See, I almost always put it down on my team event, right? Like I do it for the Sixers. It's for the Sixers game, Eagles. So I did it, and I think I had like McLaurin, right? I think I had him over whatever his over-under on yards was. I threw a couple things in that I thought would happen with the Commanders too, right? And that didn't happen. Jalen Hurts, I had him over, like 50 yards or something rushing. That didn't happen. But I was thinking about it, and I was like, it's kind of weird to bet on the other team in the game that you're watching of your own team. Like, you're not rooting for them. But at the end of the day,
they're going to have the ball. Like when the Eagles don't have the ball, then you have nothing to cheer on, or This way, if you have something on Washington's side, at least when they have
it's kind
the
of
ball,
dangerous though. Then I'm cheering.
You can still bet on the opposing
listen,
team.
Gambling
still,
is dangerous. I mean, what are we
Well,
talking
Well, I just
about?
mean, like, I don't want to be rooting for the other team.
Then
but-
don't. Don't.
Well, you
do
can
it.
also look at
See,
it
I
as
can,
if you're-
I can separate it. I'm
You're seasoned.
detached enough to where I can
Right.
I can separate it. But if you're looking for my personal strategy, if I'm trying to do like a single game parlay or something, I usually look for a high scoring game. Then I look for the points in the team's games that are weaknesses. Like say the Lions are weak against the pass, I take the team they're playing against, the receivers. And I balance it out that way, and sometimes good things happen. It doesn't always work. It could be a low-scoring game in a clunk, but I always look towards high-scoring games. Now FanDuel does the thing where you don't even have to do a single game parlay. You could do like
Multiple
partial
games.
parlays through different games. So you could pick a receiver in this game and his touchdown, a receiver and a quarterback yards in this game, and you really have free reign to do whatever you want to do. But it's best to come up with a strategy, and if your strategy prevents you from enjoying the game you're watching, it's probably better to pick a new strategy.
Are you paying attention during like when excuse me, say like you got a 4-leg parlay with 4 different teams winning, right? And you see that cash out button, right? And you're a little bit nervous about one of the games. How often are you hitting the cash out button?
I don't bet teams. I don't bet
Right.
teams.
You
to-
can't
You don't
cash
bet
out.
teams at all.
at all.
You can't cash out on props, right?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can
Okay.
sometimes.
But I usually don't cash
Nah?
out. No. Unless it's like something crazy. Where
just
it's
going for the
it's
home
a
run.
very long. They usually don't do it in SGPs, in single game parlays. Like if you pick 4 touchdown scorers and 3 of them score, you probably have a really big cash out option, which might entice you to do that. But otherwise, I don't bet teams. That's when I used to lose a bunch of money in games.
Yeah.
Is when I would bet teams.
Like this weekend, I had had the Eagles, had the Vikings. No, not the Vikings. Had the Eagles, the Chiefs, the Ravens, and then the cash out buttons there. I'm like, there's no way that the Chiefs are gonna lose this game, and they lost the freaking game. And I'm like, damn, I should hit the freaking cash out button.
Should have hit it. Well, look, that's good. That's good knowledge. I appreciate that. Do you ever look for a game where everyone sucks and just bet under? So now I guess no.
I don't
then
do
it
that
comes
because
down.
that's not fun for me.
Yeah, it's
I
not
don't-
fun.
I don't
Betting on
like
an or watching for an under. That's like the worst thing you can
That's
ever
like
do.
some weirdo gambler shit.
You're
I don't
just
like
step
As
below
you're
that.
gambling.
Step below that. Well, we're going to keep it up every week here. We'll throw some single game parlays and hope the squad keeps winning. Fink, what'd you do with your newfound winnings? Did you get that shirt?
What was that?
Did you go out and get that shirt?
The shirt he's wearing?
Yeah.
What's wrong with the shirt he's wearing?
It looks like a nice shirt. He's got a collared shirt. It's got like a Hawaiian theme. Maybe he went out and got the
Trying to
shirt.
class this place up a little.
You look
bit,
great. And you got is that a coffee mug?
Yeah, I wrote it myself.
What are you drinking? You feeling under the weather?
No, I feel great.
You got vodka in there?
Iced tea.
Iced
vodka?
tea.
No,
All right.
no vodka.
Oh, okay.
I need something to balance out the beers. I've been
You've been-
going hard, damaging the body a little bit.
Well, yeah, right before the tailgate, you were on a bachelor party, right?
Yeah, and I was out all weekend
Oof.
yesterday. catching
right.
up.
Yeah, real quick, before we get off the gambling thing, I saw something from someone, I can't remember who it was, but they said that the Eagles are favored to win all the rest of their
I
games.
saw that as well.
For
Is
the
that-
rest of the season. Yeah.
Is that like a
I don't
true
think
thing?
you can
Yeah, can you
plan
even bet that?
out.
Yeah,
Like,
how does that even
that's
work?
some weird
That's uncommon.
shit to like. There's nothing that puts a line out for the rest of the season.
Yeah,
I think
I'm sure
there
you can
are
probably
lines.
you could probably bet
You can
like
probably just
week
look
14
and say
game.
they'll probably be favored in all these. That's probably
That's actually a good
basically
point. Can
what
you
it
walk into a casino in Vegas and bet on the Eagles game?
Week
No.
14.
Right, you can't.
No.
So these are projections, projected lines. Right. But either way, that's not a typical thing.
is. Right.
No, their schedule is pretty easy.
Yeah.
Super
I got them
Bowl,
going
we're going to
17
Super Bowl.
or 17 and 0. That's my prediction. Maybe 16 and
17.
1.
Look at you coming around now.
Yeah,
Look
what
at
was
you
your
coming
wait?
around
What was
now.
his prediction? Do you remember, Fink? We
Yeah,
gotta go look
Justin
that up.
I said I said
12
10 and 7. Yeah.
10 and 7.
Now I'm like I'm
Oh, what
on
did
the
I
train
say?
heavy.
No, I think I said 10. Oh, jeez. It's so funny how quickly I
Yeah.
forget what you said, you know? Yeah, we got to revise all those, drink that Kool-Aid. I mean, look, best case scenario, we get around to that Birds of a Feather Tailgate Part 2. Might be undefeated. I don't know, but it's possible. We got Dougie P
There's
coming
just-
in this
there's
week.
so many times that a team can start out 9-0 and then everything falls apart in
Yeah.
the last few weeks. So let's
You
just
got a
let's
point.
just
Let's enjoy it.
Knock on
Yeah,
wood.
knock on
What
wood.
about-
Gotta stay healthy. That's the big thing.
What about this
man.
though? Dougie P coming in this week. I'm gonna give him a standing O. I mean, he won a Super Bowl, right? There's no booing Dougie P or anything.
Nah, you
right?
can't.
I'm not going to
Doug
boo him.
Peterson.
I'm certainly not going to cheer him because he's the opposition.
See, I'm with
He's-
Meech on that.
he's cool.
They were talking about that, like if you're going to cheer him or boo him. I don't think
I can be
I'm
indifferent.
cheering him.
I'm good at
but
being
I'm not going to
indifferent.
boo him.
I love that man. I will cheer him. I don't care.
Once you come in as an enemy,
I don't care.
different uniform, you're the enemy.
If I saw him walking down Chestnut Street, I'd cheer him
Right.
and I'd thank him. If he's in the stadium wearing a Jaguars hat,
Okay.
Dougie P's
That's
whole
all you're
job
getting
on
from
Sunday
me.
is to make you go home miserable. You're going to cheer that?
Let me
No.
clarify. When he enters the stadium, I will stand up and cheer. But it's not like every time the Jaguars have a good play, I'm going to stand up and say, "Doug, great job with that
what
one,
if
man."
Trevor Lawrence thinks you're cheering for him and he has the game of his life?
Well,
I hear you, Jesse.
I have to
Trevor
honor
Lawrence
that
is all
man.
happy,
That
smiling.
listen, that man gave me the best moment of my sports life. I need
Trevor
to honor
Lawrence?
that man, not Trevor Lawrence.
Like that Clemson national champion?
No, you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
I know
Do
what
not disrespect Doug. Okay.
The enemy.
People slept on Doug. Look what he delivered. Anyway.
And look what he's doing now. Down
Anyway,
there, man.
all right. Big
coach.
We're just going to do a massive topic shift right here because, Meech, I know you went out with the lady over the weekend, right? You got to get out, step
Not
out of
only
the house.
lady, I took my mom as well.
You took your mom. Okay, this is great because, like, if somebody had to guess, I want you guys to guess. I mean, you guys already know, but like, what would you guess that Meech took his lady and his mom to, like the flower show? Brunch,
Maybe a
or
nice
something?
play.
I want you to tell the people what you took your lady and your mother to.
to a Chris Rock concert.
Comedy
Chris
show.
Rock comedy show at the Met. It worked
Oh,
out.
Mike, that's so sweet of you to
See,
think of me.
It worked out great. When the tickets went on sale, I got like an early in the line, and they went on sale like right after the Oscars. So I was like, I'll be able to sell these for like a few $100s. So I got five.
Guy's always thinking like that.
I'm always trying
always
to
working.
Always
Damn
trying to
it.
make a buck,
Such a
dude.
tuition money,
hustler.
man. I need tuition money. So I bought 5 tickets. So I was like, I'll sell 3 of them, maybe. Well, whatever. I got 5 tickets.
Right.
Figure out what I'll do later. So I forgot all about it, and then I hit that parlay. I didn't really need to sell them, so I was figuring I'd take my brother-in-law and my sister. And then I was telling my mom, and she was like, "Oh my God, it sounds like a great idea." I said, "Mom, I got an extra ticket. Why don't you come with us?" Like, she hasn't been out and had a good time in a while, so I took her out. She had a great time. Some of the stuff you could I wish my mom.
Right.
She's a little
Here,
uncomfortable.
yeah.
You're like, oh.
No, I don't know if she was uncomfortable. But I
You
was
were uncomfortable with
that
her
my
being
mom
there.
was next to me,
Yeah.
listening to this as well. But whatever, she had a great time. I had a great time. Chris Rock is the greatest stand-up comedian that I've ever seen of my lifetime. He's just, it's not even, I mean, his material is still perfect. He was great, but it's not even so much the material, it's his cadence, it's his delivery. He could say anything, and he makes you laugh. It was such an enjoyable show. And I went Friday night, and he was there Saturday and Sunday. And if I didn't have to work both those nights, I would have went
back.
again, I think.
It would have been the same show, though.
Yeah, but
It was that good?
you go to a show and, they lock your phone up, so you don't remember everything.
Yeah.
So,
Do they?
Yeah, they
Didn't
put them
know
in those
that.
little
They
bags.
take your phone away so you can't record
It's a big thing at a comedy show. Like if you're going to see a
Wow.
big like comedian like
Yeah, if you
Chappelle
go see
or Chris
Kevin
Rock,
Hart
Kevin
or
Hart,
something, they lock your phone.
they don't take your phone. They give you a bag and they put your phone in the bag, lock it, and then when you leave, they unlock it. For you.
Ah,
So you can't record anything, take pictures in there. It's nothing.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
So,
Even like your Apple Watch. If you have an Apple, you got to put that in the bag too.
damn. Wow, how about that? Now, I remember Chris Rock. He had a show, right? Was that on HBO? Remember back in the
Yeah,
day?
the Chris Rock show.
He did this bit about what not to do when you get pulled over by the police. I don't know if you remember that. That was like one of my favorite things. That was hysterical. But was his show before Chappelle's show? I feel like it was. Or were they at the same
I
time?
don't remember the show at all.
Oh, it definitely had a show.
I think it was before. It was
I
on
think it was
HBO.
before. Yeah. It was
was
hysterical.
like
dude.
like a sketch comedy show.
It was sketch comedy. It was a talk. Like he did a monologue.
I don't remember this.
You
one
got
bit.
it. Like, honestly, it
I'm gonna
was
have to go back and
CK
check that
was
out.
a writer on
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
It
I'm gonna have
was,
to go
you know,
check that
back
out.
in those days. It was
Hysterical.
probably before Chappelle show.
I think it was. It was
because
absolutely
it was
hysterical.
but it was definitely HBO.
This got me thinking, though, about I've been to.
Now, not to cut you off, but I went to see Chris Rock. The first time I saw him was 1999, and I was with my wife. Was then my girlfriend. It was before we even had kids, and we went to Atlantic City to see him. And I got real good seats, and neither of us were of age. And she hits a jackpot on the slot machine for $1,000 right before we were about to walk in. The bells are ringing. She's nervous. Like I had a fake ID at that point. She had a fake ID that was one of her friends. Like it wasn't her
Right.
picture on it. She's so nervous. She's like, they're not going to give me. I said, just play it cool. Just act like we belong here.
Yeah.
They came over. They paid her out. We went right into the comedy. Like paid $1,000
Oh,
right into the
nice.
show.
What a night.
Perfect night.
Yeah.
We were 19 years old.
Young lovers.
Wait,
Sounds
what's the?
amazing.
You got to be 21 to gamble.
21 to get into the friggin' casino and gamble.
I don't go into casinos very often. I'm not a gambler.
And that was the first time I seen Chris Rock, and that was when he was. I think it was the Bigger and Blacker tour. He was rehearsing for that. Wanda Sykes opened up for him. Great show.
Did he mention at this show the Will Smith scenario?
He
had
did.
to.
He
He had
did
to,
mention
right?
the Will Smith.
Wow.
And, like I don't think it's like a spoiler because listen, it's just me delivering the lines, and you know, it's
Right.
different from Chris. But the funny parts I remember was he's like, people ask me, did it hurt? He's like, yeah, motherfucker, it hurt. He played Ali. He goes, I played Pookie in New Jack City.
That's perfect.
He didn't talk too much on it, but there were a few spots that he was just like classic Chris Rock, and
that sounds fantastic.
Yeah, I wanted to go, but we had some dinner in Jersey and just didn't have the timing. But
could have dinner in Jersey.
I don't think you.
Yeah, dinner in
I don't think
Jersey.
you would have made any money off those tickets though, because there was plenty of tickets available.
Yeah,
At least I saw.
well, when I got them, it was only one night, and then
Right.
like 2 days later, he
Oh.
added 2 more nights. So
Right.
then,
Yeah.
they.
Well, thank God you hit that parlay.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it would have been hard to unload some
Yeah.
Chris Rock tickets on people.
So that got me thinking a little bit, though. I was wondering, you guys, if you've had any good comedy show experiences. I know probably the best for me was Dave Chappelle came to Penn back in it's had to be like 2000, maybe even earlier. And that was hysterical. I think at that time we all knew him from Half Baked, right? That was a movie.
Yeah.
As kind of an up and coming guy. So that was amazing. I saw Charlie Murphy, actually. That was cool. I've seen,
Rest
what's
in
his
peace.
name? Aziz Ansari. I saw him. It's kind of funny. I've seen
He got
Seinfeld.
canceled, right?
Yeah, seen Seinfeld,
Seinfeld's classic.
yeah,
man.
it's different. It's a different vibe, but enjoyed all
Not a
those.
fan.
Now, Rock, I think if I recall, you were telling me a story about a comedy show experience you had that, you've been the guy that actually, how the comedians always
Yeah.
heckle somebody. Nobody wants to be that guy, and I think you actually were that guy one time. Is that right?
I was.
no.
It was at a Chappelle show. It was. He did like one of those like pop-up shows. Like you get a text. It's like, hey, Dave Chappelle's going to be here tonight. Get your tickets here, and if you can get one, you can get it. So I forget who sent it out. I think maybe one of our buddies, Squirrel. sent out the link or something. I was like, oh, I'm gonna go. So Squirrel and I actually went.
Shout out Squirrel.
Can we get that nickname story later? That's
Listen,
a great one.
his actual nickname isn't Squirrel; it's Radical Squirrel. So he's not just like an average squirrel; he's a radical squirrel. But anyway, he's actually in our video, the tailgate video. He was there. Anyway,
The squirrel was loose?
the squirrel was
loose. He
there.
was his parents owned the
gathering
Bronco
nuts.
bar that we had.
Oh yeah. His parents owned the Bronco bar that we did.
And he was the guy serving up the nutmeg drinks, the rum punch.
And by the way, he grew up as a Jaguars fan and has attempted to kind of slowly transition into an Eagles fan. And we're going to the game together on Sunday.
He needs to get baptized.
Yeah, well, that's what I wanted to do. But this is going to be the culmination of his transition to an Eagles fan. Different topic.
Who's he cheering for?
Oh, in this game?
Yeah.
He better be cheering for the Eagles.
Call Squirrel.
Like, what
right
jersey
now.
is he going to wear?
let's
Is he
talk
going
to
to
Squirrel.
in here.
Squirrel.
Let's
get
Tell
Squirrel.
him to bring some rum.
I don't know. I wanted to have him bring, because he's gotten like Jaguars gear from his family every year for the past like 20 years.
Just burn
he should
that
bring,
shit.
Yeah, he should bring it all to the parking lot, and we should burn it all. But anyway, that's enough of
anyway.
our squirrel tangent.
Yeah,
Let's
so-
get back to the story.
sorry.
You and Squirrel,
So Squirrel
are at the Dave
and I were
Chappelle
at the
show.
Dave Chappelle
Crazy
show
squirrel.
on a nice date. It was like a Tuesday night, like a random
Story's
night.
off the rails already.
And, you know, you always have an opener, so the opener does their thing, and Chappelle comes on, and like, right at like the very beginning of his set, I get up, I got to take a piss. I get up, I go to the bathroom, and as I'm walking through the crowd, he's like, hey, where you going? I'm like, to the bathroom.
Oh God! Did you stop and like go like?
Yeah, I'm like,
Oh my God!
to
I
the
would
bathroom.
have.
And he was just like saying something. He was like making fun of me. He's like, oh, your haircut's from the 80s, yada, yada. He was like real nice about it and cool. So I got heckled by Chappelle, or whatever you want to call it, made fun of.
That's it. He just said your haircut's from the '80s.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
I feel
something
like it was
that.
better than that.
It wasn't like anything crazy. He was nice about it.
I wanna hear
but
Squirrel talk.
my
Yeah.
my lady actually
Squirrel's got the
when
real-
we
gotta check
go
with Squirrel.
to when we go to comedy clubs, my wife likes to sit as close as possible because she likes to get made fun of. So I'm like,
okay.
oh, okay. And we've gotten made fun of. Like, we've probably gone to like 3 or 4 shows. We probably got made fun of like
the dude
3
who
of them.
opened up for Chris Rock at this. I don't know who he was. He wasn't a good comedian, and he relied on making like his whole thing was, I'm going to ask you what you do for a living, and then I'm going to make fun of your job, and then I'm going to say you and your friend are gay, and like it was just very corny.
Yeah.
But then no one else in that stadium can even see the first 2 rows. So like,
Right.
dude, like who are you even talking to, man? Like you're
There's
opening up
no
for Chris
video.
Rock here,
Yeah.
and you're just relying on asking them what they're doing. It was really disappointing. Thank God he was only on there for about 5 minutes.
So
Well,
yeah, that was my
That was
Chris Rock
it.
story. Yeah.
What's your favorite comedy show that you've ever been to?
I've been to a
You
good
go to, like,
amount of
Helium a
Yeah,
lot
I
and
got
all that,
like that's a
right?
good night. It's a good date. Like I don't know if you guys are.
I haven't been on a date in 20 years.
Well, you know, one night you get
I've
a
been to Helium
babysitter.
once.
Well, that's not true.
I saw
with anyone but my wife.
I saw Norm McDonald.
Who was that chick I saw you with the other night, dude?
Didn't sound good at all. We go out.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Go out.
Norm McDonald, what?
I saw Norm McDonald at Helium.
That was the last time you've been?
Yeah, that was the only time I've ever been, and the only time I saw Norm.
Wow.
It was like one of
If
my
anybody's looking for a good date night, going to a comedy show it's a great idea. It's a good thing. You go there, you laugh, you have a couple of drinks, you get a bite to eat, and it's a good night. You know what I mean?
Sponsored by Helium Comedy Club.
Especially a good date night with Squirrel. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's a perfect place to take Squirrel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Anyway,
And not to hog this up, but the other great comedy show memory that I have, I was at the Camden Theater when Bill Burr did that famous rant against Philly when they were booing Dom Herrera right beforehand.
Yeah.
Because Dom Herrera's a South Philly guy, but listen, all these kids there, they had no idea who Dom Herrera was. So he came up and he starts talking about this, and they're all booing him because they want the headliners. Because he was like the 5th or 6th comedian. And,
Damn.
and
5th or
then
6th
a
comedian.
lot.
What was that like a comedy
it was
like
an
excursion or
oddball.
something?
It was like Patrice O'Neill, Jim
Yeah.
Norton.
Like an all-star thing?
Yeah, it was really good, but the crowd just started getting out of control. I think Chappelle might have closed for it.
Yeah.
But Bill Burr came out right after Dom Herrera, and instead of doing his comedy bit, just made fun of Philly for
I love that.
20
Did anybody
minutes
throw anything
straight.
at him?
Did you ever hear it?
You know what? I haven't. Who's the best?
My favorite comedian to see is JB Smoove. You know JB Smoove?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He's gotten pretty big.
He's like,
I bet he's great.
he's very animated. He tells his jokes are like so spot on. I've seen him maybe like every time he comes around, I go see him.
He was one of my favorites on Def Comedy Jam back. You know, when that was. It was like him.
I'd love to see that guy. He's hilarious.
If people don't know who JB Smoove is, he is from Curb Your Enthusiasm. He's Leon.
He's Caesar from
MGM.
Oh yeah,
you know him from the Caesar commercial.
But anyway, if you have a chance to go see him in person, fucking hilarious. Favorite stand-up comedian to see live.
Yeah, I definitely gotta check that out.
But I went to go see a show last week. I went to go see Craig Robinson. Everybody knows who Craig Robinson is, right?
Yeah.
Funny guy, like in movies. Terrible stand-up.
It's hard, man.
Stick to them
Stand-up's
pizza
hard.
commercials.
It wasn't even like stand-up comedy. He basically sat on stage for, I don't even know, because we left early. It was just like repetitive. He sat on stage for like an hour at this point, just playing songs on his keyboard and like just singing, like having the crowd sing along with him. He's like clearly high as a kite, like baked out of his mind,
terrible.
like takes a break, goes to the back, comes back out, the whole place smells like weed. It's just like, he was just like, no disrespect to Craig Robinson.
Well,
I think he's hilarious and everything else, but his stand-up comedy.
You'd think he made enough
Bad.
money if he doesn't give a crap about it. What's he doing it for? But
Yeah.
the guy, you would think he'd be good. Fink, real quick, what about you, man? What's your favorite comedy show you've been to?
I don't know.
Carrot Top.
He doesn't know.
Carrot Top.
I've been to a lot of shows at Helium. Nothing like no famous like.
No.
I usually just go when like he said I get texts from it. I go
Right.
down when they have like the special.
Did you ever get made fun of?
No, I don't.
No, you stay.
I don't give no.
You
They're-
stay
They
in
would
the
have
back.
a field day with me. I don't sit
Yeah.
nowhere for near the front. I'm good.
But look at this dude haircut.
I think one of the funniest
What's up,
performances
Jesse?
at
My
Helium.
shirt today, my haircut.
Yeah,
I'm
right?
just jealous, man. You got too much swag, man. I got no hair. All right, I'm just jealous. I wish I could have a fade.
Remember that news lady from like Channel 29 flipped out outside
Oh,
of
in front of
Helium?
the-
Yeah, that was like the best performance
yeah.
at Helium ever.
That was good. That was good. So on the note of funny things in Philly, generally speaking, I was thinking kind of like who people that are from Philly that are funny, and Kevin Hart, Will Smith. I don't know. I don't even feel like they're from Philly after they're just larger than
I
life.
don't even
What do you
feel
mean?
that they're funny.
I'm just saying, like most of the people that you would be like think of as like celebrities that are funny from Philly are just like too far gone. Do you know what I mean?
I hear
Like
what
I
you're
don't
saying.
even think about it. I actually think, like on Twitter, I laugh so hard at people and like the funny shit that they say, and there are so many people on Twitter that are hysterical. A lot of them who are like putting out funny stuff every single day. Meech's pretty funny. He's a good follow.
No, I'm annoying.
No, you're good. Fink, gets after it. But you guys got a whole network, and there's this like, Philly Twitter sphere, people that are into sports, but also generally commenting on life in Philly generally that I see them by watching what you guys are doing. I see all these people, and I thought maybe it would be good because there's probably a lot of people that are watching this that might find that, interesting as well. Like maybe we can put them on to a couple people that they should follow that are just hysterical people from Philly that if you're into Philly and Philly sports or whatever, or anything generally, they're interesting to follow. So I thought we would kick it to you guys and see what your recommendations were for people.
Absolutely.
People that you guys get a real kick out of on a daily basis. I mean, there's nothing better, right? When you're just scrolling, you see something and like you
It's the
literally
best.
like
Twitter
you
makes
just laugh.
my day sometimes.
It's great.
Yeah, real quick before we get to that, for some reason my Twitter account has been permanently suspended. You guys know how that happens?
Yeah, maybe it has to do with your Venmo, dude. What's going on?
I don't know. I have no idea, but I had
You
like
got your Venmo,
I had
you
like
got your
side,
Twitter
Rob.
account.
I had like 7 followers. I had like 2 tweets, and I was like, next thing you know, I go on. It's just, my
Robert's
shit's
running
permanently
like-
suspended. I'm like, well, I have no idea.
like,
what's
this
going
is
on.
right
Were
for you.
either of your 2 tweets death threats?
No. It was like something about like
that's
some
pretty-
random football game I was watching one night, and that was it.
All right. Well, look,
And
we'll get
suspended.
Fink. Can you help him out a little bit?
I'll just
Maybe
start.
the
I'll
person
just start
who
a new
hacked
one.
your Venmo got you suspended from Twitter.
I've had some wild shit going on with my phone. I'm not gonna lie. I had multiple things hacked recently. I thought iPhones were like unhackable, but
That's not.
something's going on.
Yeah, you
but
gotta
You
anyway,
gotta stop
All right.
clicking them risky links. or
yeah,
something.
dude. I don't know. Backdoor links. Who knows, dude? Somebody's got my shit in the dark web.
All right. Well, we hope you remedy your issues. In the meantime, Fink, can you lead us through this? Because I'm interested to see who you guys think are, people, local funny guys that the average person might not know.
I'm gonna let Meech start here since
All right.
he sent it to me first. His
Cool.
list.
All right, I don't know what order I sent them to you in, but I can pull up the first one and I'll.
Please don't look at me and my mom. Sorry.
What?
You know,
Don't look at the butt plug in this plug. That has nothing to do with your mom, by the way. Sorry.
I had a few qualifications for who I would nominate here, because there's a lot of guys that I really loved who are on Philly Twitter, but how I made the cutoff is if you have more followers than me, I'm not going to recommend you because, obviously a lot of people follow her. So I tried to go for the people, not less known, but with less followers than me. And one of them he's my personal friend, but M. Leaf, he's constantly funny, always commenting on Philly sports, Philly shit. He's very sarcastic. He's got my kind of humor. And this is a little sample tweet from him. This is from this Sunday. He wrote, "Watching Wentz extend the play reminds me a lot of Brett Favre. Not necessarily talent-wise, but from the stealing millions of dollars aspect," which is, funny and it's
relevant.
It's in the news.
Yep.
Yeah,
current.
That's
well done.
That's
Very
worthy
witty. Very witty.
Worthy of a shitload of faves,
All right.
retweets.
At M Leaf, Leif. I love it.
Go check him
He's
out.
my
saw that
first
somehow.
nominee for funny Philly Twitter.
Yeah, if I
guys.
see you talking to someone, I'll just follow them because I know they're probably funny. So he's on
M. Leaf.
I'm tapped into M Leaf.
So that's number two. Number three, and this isn't in any particular order because this guy might,
No, you're
might
crowning
be
a
my
champion.
personal favorite right here. It's East West. East
reading
West. He doesn't have a ton of followers, maybe 3,000 something, but he's by far my favorite. He's so fucking funny, and this is his best tweet right here. He created. He likes to just make things up. So this one he wrote. You remember when Martin Shkreli had the Wu-Tang album? He was the only one to own a copy, and he wrote. Go back to the tweet, man.
Yeah, I'm not reading all that shit up there.
Yeah.
I hit the wrong button. I'm sorry. Relax. I got it.
Oh.
Think tank.
Oh my God.
Oh, no. What's going on?
We're back. All right, here we go.
Blowing it.
These
So,
lamps.
for-
the
forget
lamps
the
are a
forget the
problem.
$2 million. This is easily the most interesting part of the whole Wu-Tang deal with Martin Shkreli, and he composed this little blurb that says Bill Murray can steal the album, and it's just so well written and creative. I'm not even going to go into it, but it's hilarious, and it actually got picked up to be a play. His tweet.
Yeah.
They created. They were going to make a play where Bill Murray tries to steal the Wu-Tang album from Martin Shkreli. Like it got really out of hand.
Wait, no, it
I'm
says
confused.
here. It says here, said heist or caper can only be undertaken by currently active members of the Wu-Tang Clan and/or actor Bill Murray with no legal
He
repercussions.
makes things up, and like every wild thing I see on Twitter, I'm like, did he make this up? But he's
Wow.
very clever, and he's
All right.
like,
So
I don't know why he doesn't have 8 billion followers.
He took the time out to type that
hold
little
on.
blurb
Yes,
underneath there.
yes, he
Okay.
made it all up.
Gotcha.
At East West WES. I'm on that right now.
Are you gonna follow everyone as we go?
I am.
I would,
If
but my
Meech
shit's
says they're
fucking
funny.
permanently suspended. I got to start a new
Bang,
one
there
up.
we go. I'm on it. All right.
And then number one is another buddy of mine. He's got see, these are my favorite kind of guys who tweet because they're so selective with their tweets. I can't help. I just tweet about anything that pops in my stupid head, and it's I get annoying. Guys, this is Arkansas Fred.
Arkansas Fred.
He's so selective with his tweets, and they're all bangers. And I wish
all
everybody
bangers.
tweeted like him. But this is probably his most famous and best tweet. This is when the Eagles obviously weren't doing too well. He goes, best possible scenario for the Eagles right now would be for Swoop to run me over with the Eagles Youth Partnership bus. It's just perfect. I mean, the word, it's great.
It was at 7:15 p.m. So it was probably like mid-game or
Yeah.
that day or like right after a game.
Right
If
after
you were
a
really
game.
feeling that tweet.
Wow,
too.
that's
Yeah, this thing's
2015.
2015. It's an old one right there.
I like it.
We're going classics here.
I love it.
I'm going for
Keeping
for
it real.
classic
Now, did you
Twitters.
remember that tweet, or did you have that like pinned
I
somewhere?
remember that tweet like every time I think of the Eagles.
Yeah, I got
Anytime
you.
the Eagles are doing bad, I look that one up. I just retweet it because it just
That's a great
brings it
great
all
thing.
together.
It speaks to the the imprint that people can have on you. These really well composed
So
funny
there's ton of
expressions.
like I left out Jeff McDev. He's the man. I left out Zoo with Roy. He's the man. They're
funny.
The men.
They're the men.
Yeah, I left out some of these guys with more followers than me because
If you just like get into Meech's online web and like see who he's like, talking to, and all that, you'll find all these guys.
And this is no slight to anyone else. There's a shitload, but I had to pick 3. So you got the cream of the crop. Don't feel bad if I didn't mention it.
Beautiful. Well, I think what we should probably do is see if we can get some of those guys to come on the show, and talk about their not gonna say their shtick, but it's got to be funny in real life too, right? Or maybe not.
I don't know if they'll want to be doxxed. How's that?
That's right. That makes sense. Well, you can find out. You can find some good guys for us. All right, Fink, are those you got some recommendations over there too?
So I also pulled one of Arkansas Fred's tweets because I like this.
All right, well let's check it.
Arkansas
Okay.
Fred is the guy.
Let's see this here. Can you read that to us, Fink?
The 2 Twitter spears of Eagles fans: Cowgirls and Vagiants suck fan, and B, I'm gonna kill myself in the garage at halftime.
All right.
I just like that one because it kind of speaks to me. That's
It's
how
a
I
good
feel when I'm watching the
juxtaposition.
games.
Right. I like the Vagiants. I've never heard that somehow. It's very
Never
original.
heard of
I saw a guy with a
Yeah.
t.
Yeah.
I saw a guy with a t. I feel like you're in this picture. So we took a picture with a guy who was wearing a Giants t-shirt.
Really?
Yeah, and I feel like you were in the picture with it.
Well,
yeah.
maybe that was one of the games that I had.
Maybe I'll find that. We
One
can
of
pull
our
that up.
other buddies is Dr. Pizza. He's
Doctor?
very good and active.
Okay. Doctor_pizza_MD. Okay, here we go.
I'm not a fan of the Eagles. That's inaccurate. I hate them very much, but just want them to win more than anything. It's different.
Makes sense.
It's not one of the funnier tweets, but
That's pretty accurate,
It's a
though.
I think it's
good,
a great
accurate
tweet, but
It's
I
a
don't
great
thi-
tweet.
I don't think it was
but,
read that well.
Well, Jesse's like hating
Ooh.
everywhere.
I'm not hating
Make
anything.
fun of my
Meech
shirt
just
so
wait. Hold on. Time out.
I mean, you can sell that.
Listen,
a little more.
Uncle
Because
Meech.
I'm not a fan
yeah,
of the
What do you
Eagles.
want-
Your
That's
buddy Meech
inaccurate.
just cut
I
you
hate
down,
them very
and you're
much,
too
but
worried
just
about
want them
me.
to win more than anything. It's different. You sped through it. You didn't give it the emphasis and
sell it.
and it deserved.
All right. I'm
So-
I'm
checking,
sorry for that, Joe.
Checking Dr. Pizza.
You own up, not to me, to Dr. Pizza. You owe the
Joe, I'm
apology.
sorry. I'll text you later. We'll hash it out after
Oh.
you see this episode.
Yeah. He's gonna be mad that you didn't sell it. All right.
Another one is, I didn't go off of Meech's
Oh, yeah. This guy
guidelines
rules.
with how many followers, but
Yeah, that was just my own personal thing.
Meech, can you relax?
I love this guy.
No, I can't relax.
So Treblaw, this is one of his classics. It's the. Do you want to do it for me?
Mark Jackson. To me, blue cheese does not belong in cereal. Might bring timeout Cleveland.
He sells it way better.
Yeah, Meech, come on.
But that's one of my. I love that tweet. Like anytime I watch it and them guys are on TV, I can just think about. Blue
Sounds like
cheese
an
all
actual
the time.
interaction between the two.
Wait, is the Dr. Pizza guy? Is he in your fantasy league?
Yeah.
All right. So I think you guys kind of put. I followed everybody. You put it out, so I'm already following him. But Treblaw, he brings it, man. I like that.
So another one is I did 4. I cheated.
That's cool. Shout outs.
This guy, he's hilarious. He's always like underneath, like replying to the teams and stuff.
Right.
Just saying the funniest shit I ever saw. So this one, this guy,
Okay, this is at Eric John, whose
Yeah,
name is Go Finkin' Birds Von Bro Dude. Who is this guy?
Video, and he said he ripped off his own catalytic converter. And now he's eating it. Go Birds! Because there's like a thing where
Yeah.
Eagles fans reply like weird stuff.
Right.
This guy
yeah.
he's hilarious.
He is wild. Make sure to follow that
He
guy.
says-
I heard of him. He's good.
I don't
he's
follow
just-
him. It's weird.
He just says like some of the funniest shit. I love that guy.
Huh.
He's one of the few I can
that
still
guy.
see with my suspended account.
You can only see
Yeah.
at Eric John with your suspended account. Well, that is weird. All right. Well, that's great. Look, make sure you give a follow to all those guys. Are all those guys local?
Yeah, they're
For all we
it's
know.
Philly Twitter.
That's what I figured.
Isn't that one of the qualifications?
That's what I thought the qualifications were. Just clarifying
I mean-
there for the people. I mean, you can follow them if they're not. But anyway, point is, give them a follow. Get into Meech and Eric John's interweb on the internet. It's a great time when
It's
you
a
get
great
in there.
place to be.
Yeah, you got to get in there. Very good. Well, look, on the note of comedy and Meech, make sure you bring it with the alliteration, what have you. I think we need to bring back something that we've done before, a segment that, in my opinion, captures the essence of Meech, and that is knock it off.
That's like the father in me.
Exactly.
I'm constantly telling my children to knock it off.
I feel like you're always walking around wanting to tell people to knock stuff off.
Yeah.
But you got to kind of choose when you can actually do it.
Right.
But here, you can choose whoever you want to tell to knock it off. And, I think we need to come up with like a jingle or like a visual. I'll work on that in the meantime.
See, I want it to
Some
be,
audio.
I would rather knock it off be more like a Larry King type segment where he rambles on about certain things than like, because I don't want it to be like a Peter Griffin. What's that segment that they did on Family Guy, like things that I didn't watch the show, but
No idea.
Okay. We'll figure it out.
yeah, it's a tight line to knock it off. You don't want to be sticky, but I do kind of want to come off as the old
Right.
wise
Curmudgeon.
father curmudgeon.
I like it.
I think that's like a good character.
I think you come off that way. So
Thank
just
you.
get into your Larry King vibe and give us
And all these-
whatever.
all the-
first again.
all the
I went
knock it
first
offs
with
are
the comedy
valid.
thing. I went first with
Well,
the tweets.
I just
Want me to go
thought
first
this
with the
was
knock it off?
mostly you. I'm happy. I can start. You want me to start?
Listen,
This is the Meech
I'll get
episode.
mine out of the way. Yeah, I'll get mine out.
Well,
of the
you're
way
hard to
because
follow too, so keep
it's-
that in mind.
Mine is nice and easy, and it's so easy that I don't think anyone would disagree with me. It's this loser, home run ball catcher, Zach Hampel. He's been through this long enough. I don't know.
Wait,
You
who?
know who he is?
Oh, this is the guy who goes out of his way to catch.
He tries to
Okay.
catch everyone's home
Now I
run
know.
ball, and he's been doing it for.
He's like a
for
professional
decades.
home run ball catcher.
But now he's to the point. I mean, I don't know how you've never heard of him, but he's universally hated. This is why, like, I'm being very safe with this one because I don't expect anyone to take his side. But it is so bad that last night. I mean, this will be out on a Thursday, and this is taped on a Tuesday. So on Monday night, he bought out a part of the stadium, like a whole section, just to try and catch Aaron Judge's home run ball. Like, he's taking the joy of baseball away from people.
That is so
He
lame.
got into an argument with a Colorado Rockies usher earlier this year to where he was trying to get in this special seated area because he takes the spray charts of all the players,
Yeah.
and then he goes
He
to
goes
the
to where they
section where they usually hit,
most
and he
likely.
camps out there, and he
smart.
steals. No, it's not smart. He steals home runs from kids. Like
Is he like knocking kids out of the way and shit?
Yes,
Absolutely.
I mean, he's been doing it and he's got so many goddamn balls. And it's like, dude, I don't know how old this guy is, but at a certain age, knock it the fuck off, Zach Hampel.
Wait, is this?
You've got to give this up, man. It's a sickness at this point. It's a disease, dude. These baseballs, no one gives a fuck about them. Like, let a kid have them, dude. You are maybe the worst human being. Like, aside from, a murderer,
Hitler.
a Hitler,
This guy.
Mussolini, or like what? And then it's Zach Hampel. He's that bad of a person, and no matter who tells him this, everybody tells him this to his face
Doesn't care.
indirectly. He doesn't care, and he doesn't stop. To where people, like, I see people on Twitter, like, if I was in the same section as Zach Hampel when he was going after, like, an Aaron Judge homer, I would kill him, like, knock him over to where I would get arrested, and I would love it. Like, I would just purposely go straight after him.
So wait, is this
And I'm not
guy's
condoning
business?
violence, but I'm saying don't even allow this dude into baseball stadiums anymore. Like, he's such a sick human being. A few years ago, they had that game at one of those forts where they invited all veterans in. He scalped the ticket from a goddamn veteran to go into the stadium to try and catch home run balls. Like,
Wow.
He's just a
Loser
despicable
behavior.
person.
I got two questions.
Wow.
Is that his business? Like, does he catch these balls
At
and
this
sell
point, it is.
them?
All
Think
he
so.
does is go from stadium to stadium. For I don't know what he does or how he got. I know he wrote a book. I don't know who bought
he's
this
a
book.
and I think he sells.
Who's
the
buying
balls.
this book?
I have no
Like,
idea.
everybody I know hates this person. I don't know one person who's ever said.
I've never heard this
Zach
guy in my
Campbell's
life.
a pretty good guy.
I didn't know
Like,
his
he
name,
makes
but
appearances
I know what he
fees,
did.
too. Like, I think the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs had him for like a Zach Hampel night or something like that.
What?
Wow.
Like, it's really
Okay.
weird. Like, he creeps me out.
Now,
Zach Hampel, I hate you. Knock it off, man.
Real
Seriously,
quick,
just stop.
Before we move on
Stop,
from that-
dude, you need help.
did Aaron Judge hit a home run last night? And did he get?
He
Okay.
hasn't hit a home run in like 6 days.
right.
You remember when they used to have those cut-ins to Bonds, Sosa, McGuire? They used to hit them all the friggin'. Every time he cut into them, they did a home
lot of
run.
cut-ins.
This
Yeah.
this guy just decides to go homerless.
Well, this is why I regret my decision to let you go first. I should have went first because I just picked some really dumb little thing that's annoying me. And I don't.
Why don't you just pile on? Just hate Zach Campbell.
I hate Zach Campbell. Nah, I don't have the passion for it. But I saw something during the Eagles game that made me want to, throw it into the knock it off. And I saw this particular individual here, and I think like. Look.
What does this guy got going on?
We are okay. So
He looks like the character from Kids in the Hall. You ever see that?
So if you're listening and you can't see this visual, there are people who are making these like makeshift. I guess you call that an eagle costume. I don't know what that is. It's very frilly. There's fur, but there's also like painted face
going on.
There
He's
are
got the
beads
feathers around his neck.
I just want people to knock it off with the weak ass Eagles costume, because here's the thing. We're not a costume fan base, okay? It's one thing if like you're the Raiders and you got like spikes and shit everywhere. That's cool, but a lot of these fan bases you go and people are dressing up like it's Halloween, and we have to be better than that. Okay, now, I just want to say the people who show up in the legitimate Eagles costumes, that they're clearly sweating their asses off and it's like real fur and it actually looks like an eagle. I kind of got respect for that if you're going to hang out all game in that. But don't do this, okay? It's not Halloween. This is just bizarre to me, and I think it's an embarrassment to the fan base. We don't do that kind of stuff. We are serious fans, okay? And this is a disrespectful outfit for us as fans, and that just struck me when I was watching the game.
Face painted with his
Knock it off with the weak-ass Eagles costumes.
Wait, this guy looks ridiculous, but I don't
sir.
see many people dressing up like Eagles. This is the first time I've seen someone dressed
there's
as
a
an
lot,
eagle.
but this is like an interpretation of an eagle.
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with the from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia when the guy's dressed up.
Oh yeah. I got
See,
you.
if there's a reference there that he's going for that I
not
missed.
this guy in particular.
Okay. This
But
looks
just
like,
in
what this
general,
looks
I
like?
think a lot of the bad Eagles costumes are, an homage to It's Always
Okay,
Sunny.
you know what this
God.
looks like? It looks like Cats, like in Cats,
Oh, yeah, there you
the
go.
musical, like
I'm gonna try and find the
hybrid with eagles. It's just not a good thing. We got to cut
Kids
it
in the
out.
Hall
All right,
skit.
all right. So in the interest of time, we got to move this along. Rocky, what do you got?
What do I got?
You have
I'll
something
make
to
mine-
knock it
yeah,
off?
I'll make mine quick though. My wife was at the supermarket the other day.
She needs to knock it off with that.
No, hell no. She needs to keep it up with that. But she ran into my mom and sister, and she talked to them for a minute, and then she's going out to her car. As she's getting in her car, she sees my mom and sister and niece come out, and they're loading stuff into the car. And she says she sees my sister put the stuff in the car, take the cart, and just put it in between the two cars.
Oh, knock it off.
Yeah, and my wife's like, I'm not gonna say my sister's name, but she's like, "What are you doing? If your brother was here, he would curse you out right now." And
Is that accurate?
I wouldn't curse my sister out, but knock it off with, if you're at the shopping mart or the shopping.
Are you aware of the shopping cart theory?
Yeah, that's what I was going with here.
Yeah.
So there's like this whole shopping cart theory thing here. You could probably pull that up, right?
Why do I not know about anything?
So basically, the shopping cart theory says.
You constantly off the internet?
No, I'm just running around.
Basically, the shopping cart theory says if you're like one of these people who just leaves their cart, like after you load your car up, you just leave your cart and then you pull off, you're like, you're not a good person. You like don't
think
think
that's
about other
obvious.
people on the side. Yeah. And I'm not saying my sister's a bad person. I hate to bring her
wow,
up here.
you kinda just
But like
did.
she was like, oh yeah, you know what? She said my wife was like, yeah, she said, you're right.
Yeah.
I should be putting this back. But like if you're one of these people that's doing this, like obviously you don't have to put the cart back. It's not against
Right.
the law or whatever, but it's just like it makes someone else's job harder, right? So think about someone came into your job and like, whatever you're doing, just
Right.
made it harder for no reason other than just to make their life a little bit easier.
Yeah. At least your sister showed some remorse.
Yeah, she did show some remorse.
Although, I'll be honest with you. I always put the shopping cart back.
Always. Of course
and
you
I
do.
love, not only do I love putting it back, I love slamming it as hard as I freaking can. I just ram that thing into the back.
I love trying to
that's
do it as
weird.
far away as I can to see if I can
yeah,
guide
right.
it in
It's-
there.
It's a fun exercise.
Yeah.
It is fun.
But anyway, if you're
But-
leaving your cart out there in the parking lot,
the shop right in front
Knock
of
it
me,
off.
the guys there have, and the Sam's Club, which are like the only two places I go to with shopping carts, they have like these electronic shopping cart gatherers now where they just like attach them. Like
Right.
it's so crazy how they
yeah, the shopping
gather-
cart game has come a long way. Like
Yeah.
you can only take your shopping carts
When
like
I
to a
used
certain.
I used to work at a supermarket when I was
Yeah,
a
it's got
kid.
a regulator.
Yeah,
like
it's
a
got-
golf
you can
cart.
only take it so far out the parking lot.
Related, if you do that, if you just leave your shopping cart, you're the kind of person probably that I see on 76, like throwing your McDonald's French fry thing out of your window in the middle of the highway. That is just next level shit.
I think littering used to be so prevalent when we were kids.
Oh
like,
my
Yeah.
You just see people throw shit out the window all the time.
All the time.
But now it's not nearly the
unbelievable.
same.
It's
All
still
It's
bad.
probably
Think,
just
did
the
you,
same people were doing that.
But anyway,
back
knock
then.
it off if you're leaving your shopping cart in the
Knock
middle
it
of a
off.
parking
Knock
lot.
it
Just
Knock
go
off if
put
you're
it. Just go
littering,
take
knock it
the
off if
10
you're
feet
Zach
away.
Campbell.
Knock it off. You got a weak ass Eagles
Knock it
costume.
off.
Fink, you got anything, or does that wrap
I
it
hate
up?
people who double park when there's a ample parking spot within 5 feet of their car.
Right.
They,
So,
instead of,
like when they run in.
they refuse to park. Like they don't want to park. I don't know if they don't know how to park, but
Right.
they put on the flashers
And
and
they
just double park.
This is
on
when they're running in to get
everything.
something.
What?
When they're running in to get something.
Yeah, they just don't care. Like,
Yeah.
just park.
That's the theme here. When you don't care about
What
other
the
people
hell's your
like Zach
problem?
Campbell.
Knock it off.
Oh, unbelievable. Unbelievable. These people are unbelievable out here. Well, we got 2 more exercises to get in here.
Squats.
2 more exercises? I need to stretch before we start exercising.
Yeah. Hopefully you guys can make it for this episode without taking a leak, although we've been going for a while, so I don't know.
long
Odds
have you
on
been
that aren't great.
I'm already starting to
so
feel it.
we're going to go with,
3-year-old prostate over here.
what did I come up with on this now? I changed the name because I thought it was too basic. It's Judge Jesse's Deliberation Station. What do you guys think of that?
I gotta go take a piss.
It reminds me
Hey,
of.
can we get
You remember
just
the Chuck E. Cheese knockoff when we were kids? Celebration Station.
yeah,
I love
exactly.
it.
It's just like that. It's a knockoff. Can we get buckets here that we can just, so they don't have to even
Pop
go
up
anywhere
tents.
A trough.
or something like that? I mean, that's what we're dealing with.
So
here.
back to the
It's disgraceful. Anyway,
Knock
this
it off with the truck,
edition
dog.
of Judge Jesse's Deliberation Station is brought to you by the Good Heart Law Firm, the #1 personal injury firm
Which
for
I think they should be called the Great Heart.
the Great Heart. You want to take it to the next level. I actually liked on the last episode you said that you wanted to get hurt just so you could
I wanted to get
use.
personally-
You wanted to personally injure yourself. Maybe we should have an episode where we personally injure Meech.
You know what?
But then he'd sue
I
us.
thought about that afterwards, and I was like, that's probably not a good thing to say.
Probably
That's-
not a good
that's
thing.
Bad,
Yeah, we don't want to make light of
bad
personal
karma.
injury
That's
matters
bad
because
juju.
we don't want to make light of it because it does happen to people, and when it happens to
And
you,
I
you
don't
want to call Mark.
I don't technically want it to happen to me,
Right.
but if it did,
You'd call Mark.
I'd want Mark.
And by the way, we met Mark last week. I mean, I've known him for a while, but the viewers and listeners
I met him at the Bronco
Bronco
bar.
bar.
That's right. He was at the Bronco Bar.
I met his wife last week for the first
Yeah,
time.
who
nice lady.
is a big gambler. Big gambler. She's great. But Mark, he's the guy. So anyway, let's.
She's a good person because she's a
let's
big
get
gambler.
right into
All
it.
right.
What kind of?
That's what I took from that.
No,
kind of
I didn't mean it
intro?
like that. I didn't mean it like that. I know her. She's a great person. She just happens to
Very
be
nice person.
somebody who's putting in like all sorts of parlays, which I think is the best thing ever. So, shout out Danielle. You're the greatest. Okay, so here's what we're gonna go with. Okay, because I need to get your guys' view on this. I started to think about this a little bit. Obviously, we've made a huge deal about the Phillies making the playoffs for obvious reasons, right? They haven't made the playoffs in, is it 10, 11 years? I got to get this right. 10
2011.
All right.
We made a
so-
big deal about this?
Yeah, it's been a big deal. I don't know if you're paying attention.
Not
Rob.
really.
And
That's why his Twitter account got suspended.
exactly, he doesn't know. He doesn't know if it's a
Not
big
being in
deal.
the playoffs.
I just was thinking about this, and I was like, look, we have an expanded playoff format, right? So like more teams are making the playoffs than ever. You've got this new situation where if you make it as a wild card and you're the last 2 wild cards, you go play a series of 3 away games, with a higher ranked team. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, is it kind of almost predestined that if they make the expanded playoffs, that they're going to have to go to St. Louis or Atlanta, and that's going to be pretty much a too tall of a task. And it's like if they make the playoffs and they don't go anywhere. Like, is it enough? And this is different because they haven't made it for a while. But like for any team, really, it's like, oh, my team made the playoffs, yeah, but you lost in the first round. Does that make you feel better than not making it? Sure, but like, is that something that we should get so excited about, or like, are we getting Are we getting a little too excited about this, knowing that the likelihood of them
first
doing
here.
anything is pretty slim?
I'll go first here because
ahead.
I'm not the biggest Phillies fan. So for me personally, it doesn't mean shit. They're just making the playoffs.
Yeah, well-
I mean, I understand that the Phillies. You sent something out today that they've been around since what is it?
Yeah, this was
18?
baffling.
Please address your answer to Judge Jesse from
The deliberation.
Deliberation Station.
Yeah, I'd like you to say,
Thank you.
Judge Jesse.
Judge Jesse.
It
doesn't mean I don't give a shit if they make the playoffs, whatever. They've made the playoffs enough times in my lifetime, personally, for me to be content with
Feel
them making
fine.
it. Yeah. So they just make the playoffs and lose, it doesn't mean a damn thing to me. But you did send that thing out earlier that was like, they've been around since 1888.
Okay, this was a Fransky in L.A., right, who's also a great follow on Twitter. Put this tweet out that I think in 183 years they made the playoffs 14 times.
Yeah, that's fucking
awesome.
ridiculous.
That's absurd.
That is ridiculous.
Good job.
That is absurd. By the way, I had my mind made.
They should just sell the fucking team at this point.
My Nori impression.
I had my mind made up that like we were making too big of a deal of this, and then I saw that tweet and I was like, we are not making.
No, they're a huge embarrassment.
I'm not giving my verdict out yet.
So out of the 14 times that they made the playoffs, I feel like I've been alive for at least like maybe 5 or 6 of them.
Okay, may I approach the bench, please?
They suck.
Yes, you may.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, Exhibit A. No,
This is what I'm looking for.
I would love for the Phillies to make the playoffs for one reason only. I need to see Aaron Nola start a playoff game for my well-being. I can't stand this guy. I always think he's been the biggest choke artist. At any big game, he sinks to and doesn't show up to the occasion. But the playoffs are a different animal, and now you got a new chance. You've never been there before. If he could somehow start, what would he be set up to start? Game 2 of the playoffs? I think they redid the pitching order to where he would start game 2, and I think Suarez would be game 3. So I guess Zach Wheeler would be game 1. Regardless what Zach Wheeler does in game 1, if he can throw a gem and either tie the game up or make them go up 2-0, depending on what they did, I mean, it changes my perception of him as a baseball player. Because right now, I don't like
Nola for you, huh?
It's all about Nola. Wow. I have to see him start a playoff game because he's got the stuff, but he always comes up short. And not just for Nola. I might have mentioned it on here before, but I remember the 2007 playoffs when they got their ass kicked by Colorado. They needed that learning experience,
right?
To where even though they weren't ready, and it was still better for them to make the playoffs and get their ass kicked than if they would have missed the playoffs. Because
part of the trajectory.
They get to see the atmosphere. They get to go down to Atlanta, is where they would probably play, right?
I thought it was St. Louis, but whatever.
Wherever they go, I mean, it's going to be a crazy atmosphere, and they're going to be on the road, and they're going to have to step up. They have the MVP, Bryce Harper. They got Schwarber. Reese Hoskins is one of the streakiest hitters in baseball, but if he gets on that hot streak during the play, like you never know. They have the tools to do it out of anybody. Yeah. But it's all Nola for me. I have to see him because I think he's going to go in there and give up 6 runs in 4 innings and get yanked, and that's the last we'll ever see.
That was going to be my question. So, like, what if he goes like 6 innings, he gives up like
then
7?
We see it. At least I want to see it.
Meech already feels that way.
Yeah,
so
I feel he's so he's.
So he goes like
he's not going to prove me wrong. I'm fucking nobody, but he's just got to prove that he can do it.
What if he goes in and he gives up 7 innings
Bye-bye.
or 7 runs in 6 innings,
long,
but they
Aaron.
end up winning the game?
See you, Aaron.
You don't care?
Bye-bye. You're
All
gone.
right. Yeah, all right.
Because like the September Nola thing is an actual thing. Like I think his ERA in September is like 4.8.
But I thought recently he was
Where's he
disproving
from?
that a little bit. New Orleans.
Somewhere warm?
New Orleans.
Yeah, down south.
Right with LSU.
Nola's from Nola.
Okay.
Pitched
Fink,
for LSU,
where do you
right?
come out on this? And by the way, I'm not saying I don't want them to make playoffs. I'm just saying, are we making too big of a deal of them making it or not making it?
I think they have to make the playoffs. It's been.
I know it would be a
spent
disaster
so
if they
much
didn't.
money on the team to get this team here. You're building this. You're trying to build something. You have a lot of these players who've never made the playoffs as well, like Reese, Realmuto never made the playoffs. Like these guys need the experience, and even if it's a game or 2 or 3, you got to get in there. Especially when you said we haven't been there since 2011. They got to show up sometime. Like you can't keep on just having these teams like show up. You're spending all this money.
I like
for
your
payroll.
point. I like your point there, counselor. I think it's worth noting that
Is that your closing argument?
My closing argument is they have to make the playoffs
Right.
this year.
So-
it is a failure upon the franchise if they do not make the playoffs.
right.
But do you think it's an accomplishment if they make
Right.
it?
See, that's really the
Yes.
question. Yeah.
I think because like you have to get there. Like
You're in contempt.
You know what?
It's the lowest bar they have to get to, but they have to.
Do you know what's funny to me?
So I think
I could be wrong about
celebrate a
this.
little bit.
All right.
They've gone through season after season over the past, like 3-5 years, whatever it is, of playing 500 ball up and down and whatever, and then coming out, short of the playoffs. This year, they're actually, going to finish with their best record in a very long time. But if it wasn't for the expanded playoffs, they probably still wouldn't make the playoffs. You know what I mean? So they've actually outperformed themselves in prior years. It's just interesting the way that everything's unfolded. But
Didn't the Braves win the World Series, the wild card team last year?
I believe so. I believe you might be right.
Getting the wild card, anything can happen.
Well, I will say this. I thought, Meech is obviously always compelling. He's got the gift of gab. He knows how to work the courtroom.
He didn't answer the question, though.
Yeah, but his
I answered
singular.
the question, Your Honor.
Yeah, but you know what? Your singular.
Go for a recess.
Yeah, no. Your singular focus on NOLA was a little bit. It took me aback. I don't know that you answered the question exactly as it was posed. Rock, your complete disregard for the Phillies and their well-being as a franchise is appalling.
I don't
and I find it disrespectful.
I don't consider it an accomplishment.
So
It's making the playoffs.
you're being disregarded, and I think actually Mr. Fink provided the most compelling argument about the fact that if they don't make the playoffs, it's going to be an utter disaster, and everyone's going to be completely depressed, and it's going to be another year. So Fink, great job today in Judge Jesse's deliberation station. Thank you. All right, so we got one more thing to do here, gentlemen. We got a housekeeping item.
Wait till the civil lawsuit, fucker. I'm countersuing.
See, Meech, actually, did you gain all this knowledge from my cousin Vinny?
No, from the People's Court.
From the People's Court.
Doug Llewellyn and Judge Wapner.
Beautiful. Now, you guys might recall, for those of you that watch the show on a regular basis, and if you do, God bless you. Thank you very much. We promised that there was going to be a giveaway of Yeezy foam runners and a Lapstone and Hammer jersey that was made available by our friend Brian the Dog.
Did anybody have their jersey on?
Lapstone.
I got the
Real
shoes,
quick.
but I don't have the
Yo,
jersey.
He was rocking it at the bachelor party.
Yeah.
Saw that.
I sent the jersey down to my son in Duquesne. He saw the episode. He was like, what size was that jersey that you got? I was like, I'll send it to you. But my other son, my 13-year-old, saw that we were giving away foam runners, and he's like, can I enter? I said, I think
dude.
family of hosts are disqualified.
Yeah.
So I had to buy that MF for a pair.
Oh, damn. And he's
What
like,
size
Dad.
do you wear?
There you go.
9, I got.
He's like,
So
Dad, I saw you won that parlay.
There's the
Look,
jersey.
there's Fink
Rocking
modeling that. Is that at the bachelor party, Fink?
No, that's from
I
Rocky.
had to get my
right.
13-year-old the foam runners and my 10-year-old the Yeezy slides.
So what did we learn?
We
It
got
can
the
be
shoes over there.
expensive
Chris,
when
Clay, can you
you're,
grab the shoes out the back
Okay,
over there?
so
and pull them up.
Here's the deal. When you have like a
Pull the
pod-
Lapstone bag up here too, because they're part of this.
Okay.
So.
When you have a podcast that you just kind of ham and egg every week, it takes a little
Thank
time
you,
to
sir.
get these things together. But I have the names of everybody
Oh, I also got this beautiful.
that should we throw in a City Pigeons T-shirt?
might as well. Yeah,
We might as well. So you know what? Here's what we're gonna do.
Not
Check that
only
out.
might as well, but if they win it, they better wear the goddamn T-shirt.
Absolutely. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna
Promote
throw
our ass.
whatever your
Give you a
jersey
free pair of
size
sneakers
was.
and a $180 jersey.
Yeah,
gotta-
we're gonna give you a T-shirt.
Can people
too.
get these T-shirts
No,
if they
they
just
can't.
want one? All right.
Nope, can't. It's not
In
how
the
it works.
future, they'll get
In the
s-
future.
yeah.
In the future. No, we're not there yet. Okay, so here's the deal. That's what I was thinking. Every time I'm like, thinking about my age, I remember watching that and how long ago it was, the year 2000. Anyway, it's a bit from Conan for those old heads. Okay, so I have the names of everybody
We got the foams out. We got the
who
names.
commented and followed the
Including my
rules.
son.
Your son is not eligible, although I think there's some friends of ours that
What
are
if
in
your
there.
son
so-
made a fake account and you just don't even know
Okay.
about it?
And by the way,
There you go.
we keep it real here at the City Pigeons Podcast. We don't do any technical way of doing this. I literally printed your names onto a piece of paper and then I cut them and then I'm putting them in here and going to mix them up. Okay, wait. Here's the deal. Because Brian said he's going to give away another jersey. So what we're going to do is the first winner is going to get the foamies, the jersey, and the T-shirt.
Foamies.
Foam runners, whatever.
Foams.
And then
Whatever.
the
The
second
foam.
second place for doing nothing except watching and putting your thing in is going to get a jersey and a T-shirt. That's how we're going to do this. So, Meech, I think you're a trustworthy character. Let's have you. Don't look, okay? You just got to reach in
Trustworthy
here.
character.
Maybe, although we have established that you're a tremendous hustler. All right, let's go ahead and call
This is
out.
the winner.
This is
This
the
is the
screen
winner.
name of the winner on YouTube.
Cameron Klein. You're the
Cameron Klein.
Cam Klein.
Cam Klein.
Cameron Klein, congratulations.
Can
You
you
have
zoom in
won.
on that? It's like It's 8 font right there.
Does anybody know Cameron Klein?
I don't
Size
know Cameron
8
Klein.
font.
I don't know
Okay.
him either. But
All right.
Cameron Klein, you just want a pair
Bonus.
of foam runners.
And
City
by the way,
Pigeons t-shirt, a Lapstone jersey.
we're going to get in touch with you. It'll probably take another couple weeks to get this to you. But if you watch this, I might let this marinate a little and see if Cameron Klein actually watches to the end of this lengthy episode that we just did.
You can't do that. He won the goddamn thing. We
No.
gotta get
I'm
that.
going to give it to him.
I'm
I'm going to give it to him. Or he or she. I'm not quite sure. Okay. Here we go. So this is for the second place
me get
winner.
that one.
Let's let Rocky do it. Make sure you kind of jostle it. No looking. Please be somebody funny that we know.
Wait, this is for what? This t-shirt?
This is
It's
for the T-shirt and the
squirrel.
jersey.
t-shirt and a jersey.
Squirrel.
Radical Squirrel wins.
Radical squirrel. This is Kyle Eschinger.
Kyle
Eichinger. That's my boy.
Eichinger.
Yeah.
Kyle
Oh, so you know
Eichinger.
this guy?
He was at the tailgate.
Kyle
Shout out Kyle
Eichinger.
for being at the
Boom.
tailgate, and then you got yourself
Listen,
a
here's the deal.
Lapstone jersey
I'm happy.
and a
If you
City
came,
Pigeons t-shirt.
yeah, if you came to the tailgate, you deserve to get one of these.
And I didn't get a chance to say hi to him. So now I can hand gift him the jersey and
We got anything else you want to give out?
Booyah! That's it for today.
You want to give out one of those Die Hard joints we got over there? Why not?
Nah,
Real
you
quick.
know what? We
right.
have some hats. We'll get to that. But
All
look, thank you guys
My
for
idea, shot
tuning
down.
in, whether you're listening or viewing, and let's get pumped up for that tailgate, man. That Dallas home game. We're going bigger than ever, and we'll catch you guys all next week. Thanks for joining in.
adios.
Hey.